Welcome back to the channel. Hit the like and subscribe button and thank you for watching. So here we have the Hisense U8H, and somebody requested to see about testing out the settings from Stop the FOMO with the calibrated in the HDR features. I also did SDR, but HDR content is something that I use more. SDR, you can kind of adjust that by yourself and see the changes. So when it comes to HDR settings, they recommended to set it up in filmmaker mode, change some of the contrast and brightness, set up the backlight to 100, and remove the automatic light sensor. Local dimming you want high, and then they made a little bit more adjustments in the color temperature, custom enhancement on the motion, as well as removing some of the other noise reduction and motion clearness. Now this does also have active contrast, but all of this is off. Now when it comes to calibration, now they do have also the colors adjusted as well, and you can kind of go through those settings. You can get them directly when watching their video, and gives you all of the information. Now this is the quality that you get. So when we play the video, and this is trying to shoot it in 4K as best as possible. Now the camera picks up more of the white balance than there actually is. So in person, the black levels are much deeper than what you actually see through the video currently. The video itself looks really good. The colors do pop out as well, and the black levels are really good. Now the one thing is, this isn't my favorite setting. It looks amazing, but I do like more vivid settings. So when it comes to picture settings, that will be a personal preference, and you have to make those adjustments by yourself. When it comes to what I like, sometimes it is a little bit more vivid. And when we look at the picture quality or picture mode, something like HDR theater, that one does really well, but adjusting the brightness will deepen the black levels. So if you go lower, it'll get deeper blacks, but you have to decide what your settings are preferred. When you go to calibration, color tuner, all of this is left to what the standard settings are, and don't have any issues. As well as this is pretty much set up the way you want it. You can go to custom and change it, but standard does a pretty decent job. You have to determine how much of a motion enhancement you want. And now when we look at the video, you'll be able to see the colors feel more vibrant, and for me this looks better, but these are my preferences and something that you have to decide on your own. When I play video games, I do like the screen to be brighter than darker, and I'll go ahead and set up a video of a video game in a moment just to kind of show you the two differences, and you have to decide that on your own. But let's talk about a couple of the specs of the TV. So this TV is a 75-inch mini LED. It has over 500 local dimming zones, so you do get really good color accuracy with the quantum dot as well as deep black levels. It's really good at what it does. Now when it comes to the brightness, it can go up to 1500 nits brightness. You can control, because it is a Google TV, you have a lot of settings where you can make those adjustments. And it is a 120 hertz panel, so you do have two HDMI 2.1 ports. If you have any gaming consoles, it supports VRR and gets up to 120 hertz in 4K, so that is all great. It also has a Bluetooth 5.0 with a Bluetooth remote, as well as it has Wi-Fi 6E, which is a plus with tri-band. So good connectivity, no issues there. TV works great out of the box. Minor adjustments with your picture, something that you have to decide, and we can go through all of these settings and recording it. Even right now, if you look at the camera recording, where it says 2020 LG OLED, black 4K HDR for 60 frames per second. You can see that it shows lighter than actually it does in person. It is really holding its black levels much better, and you can go ahead and adjust that. If you go to picture and you move the brightness down, let's say to 30, it deepens it up a little bit more. It's hard to translate when you're recording just because the camera wants to pick up as much light as possible, and this is shot in 4K HDR as well. So in person it looks much better. It is something that I would recommend. This TV is an amazing TV. It has great speakers. It even has a built-in subwoofer, so sound quality is good. I still recommend a soundbar. If you're looking for gaming, it has all the features. So let's go ahead and set up the PlayStation 5, and I'll just show you some of the gaming features. Alright, so we have the PlayStation 5 set up and turned on, and let's go through some of the features that you have on this TV. Now, when it comes to the settings, if we go in here and we look at the screen and video, we can get the output information, and it shows the current information right there with VR supported, HDR supported, up to 120 Hertz. And I've shown that in a previous video. You have VRR, you can apply to unsupported, and you can even test 1440p output. So let's go ahead and test that out and see what it'll tell you. Do we see the screen for 60 Hertz SDR? Yes. 60 Hertz HDR, 120 Hertz HDR. So there you go. It gives you 60, 120 in SDR and 60, 120 in HDR. So you get all of that output right there. Now, to enable this, you do have to make sure that when you go to your HDMI format, it is on enhanced. Otherwise, it will not give you that feature. You also have Game Zone. If you click Game Zone information, it tells you exactly the input that you have currently running and information for whatever game you play. It'll display if it's using ALLM, VRR, HDR, and what the frames per second are. And you can turn that off if you don't want to have that visible on your screen. Now, when we look at the picture, this is HDR Theater and this is Filmmaker. You can notice the difference, how much it changed. But if I leave it on HDR Theater and I move the brightness up, see the black levels change. Now, when you play video games, you might want to have an HDR game and then adjust some of the black levels. Local dimming, maybe on high. Again, these are my settings. I'll put this around 40 to 45. I'll leave all these other options how they are. Now when it comes to motion, these I do adjust from time to time. FreeSync, I'm still testing it on the PlayStation and I can't tell you if it's making a big difference, but it is something that I am playing around with just to see how well it works. So let's go ahead and now when I've been playing this game, the pitch itself in certain settings, it's either you want it bright or you want it dimmed, or you have to find it in between. play around with the settings, but I don't really, out of the box, you do not need to go to one of these websites and go through the calibration process. You just need to find what you like and do minor changes. It'll work. You don't really need to go too crazy. So let's go ahead and start a game. So you see the pitch, how it is right there. Now if you go to the picture and go from HDR game to filmmaker mode, you will notice it's a little bit dimmer. Alright, so I'm not playing. There we go. Let's switch the picture again. So if you want more vivid, see how bright that gets. And if you want HDR game, it darkens it up. Again, you can make it brighter, darker, up to you. The response time for gaming works really well. No issues there. So if you're looking for a gaming TV and a movie TV, I highly recommend this TV. For the price, you cannot go wrong, because everything that you get for the price, it's a great TV. Mini LED, Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth, Google TV. Google TV is a plus because you can sideload applications, and one of the reasons why I did not even go with a TLC because of the, or TCL, because of the Roku TV. I wanted to have more control and more options available, and being able to make those changes, as well as sideloading applications for certain movie preferences and so on. And it so far works great. You even have Google Assist on there, and you can even download Alexa. There you go. So 75-inch mini LED, great TV, highly recommended. Go ahead and look in the descriptions. I'll have some links below. You have a 65 and you have a 75. You even have a 55, I believe, but I would go 65 or 75. Over 500 local dimming zones, great color accuracy, and just great picture. For the price, you can't go wrong. Stay tuned for more. Hit the like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.